Hi everyone, welcome back to My Parenting Way. My name's Katie and today I'm going to give you my children's gift ideas that could fit into luggage if you are flying. So now it is easier to travel with countries going in the green, with COVID, vaccination passports. We'll probably find that this Christmas and other times of the year, we are going to find it easier to travel finally after 2 years of staying put, which means, like us, you might be traveling away for Christmas to either go on holiday or see loved ones or family, such as us, because my husband is from Toulouse in France, so we are going to be traveling. But that makes it especially difficult if you are planning on bringing lots of presents with you over Christmas, not only for your own children, but for other children who might be in the family. So these are my top gift ideas so that can fit into luggage that aren't going to be too bulky or too heavy. So if you start off with babies, there are a few lovely light ideas. Again, most of the stuff is quite big and bulky and lights up and makes lots of noise and is lots of big packaging. I found these really cute Sloth activity socks, which you can put on baby's feet and they rattle and they've got a nice smiley face on them, and baby can just grab their feet, and they're very cute. They're from Fisher Price and they only cost about £8 and they're very flat, very light, great for a baby idea. On the subject of ideas for babies, La Maison do a play cups set which fit inside each other, and then you can build. They're different colours, they've got different numbers on, and honestly we've got these cups and they have lasted us so well, and we've used them for multiple different games and things like that. And again, they pack down really small because they fit down inside each other, and they're a fantastic idea for a little baby. If your child is slightly older and is getting into Peppa Pig, then John Lewis do a CD Peppa Pig box set, which is actually really quite small, and it has 10 mini books in it, and the CDs then have up to 40 different Peppa Pig stories on there that you can put in the car, which is especially good if you're planning on driving to your destination rather than flying. But or if you're doing a lot of driving once you've flown, then it's great to put on in the car. So yeah, John Lewis, it's about £20, so check that out. So again, if your child is a little bit older and getting into their tablets and buttons and learning about letters and numbers, this Little Tikes push and play board is really good for entertaining them. So again, the packaging isn't too much bigger than this, and as you can see, it goes nice and flat. It's really light, and actually it's quite cheap. It's only about £10 from Asda. So we've had loads of use out of this. You know, it always gets got out. It's very easy to use. Even my 16-month-old can turn it on and start pressing the buttons. So it can range from 18 months up to 4 years old, I'm finding. So it's a really good present. If you've got a little boy, my best ideas for you are things like these toy cars, which again, they're really light. They flatten down, and because they're nice and shiny, and they have loads of play once they're out. And then once you get to your destination and you take all the packaging out, actually flying back with the little cars, it's actually quite good because you get rid of all the packaging when you're there, and actually it leaves loads of space for when you travel back by plane. I have bought my son this sort of little car set from Aldi. It was only £6.99, which was very cheap, and it's very good. As you can see, it's a bit bulky. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it out of the packaging and actually wrap it up without the box, and it would save so much packaging and space in the suitcase. So that's my idea, and he just is obsessed with cars and things at the moment, so I thought it was quite a nice idea. If you have a little girl that you need to buy for having this idea of a nice little bag, little girly bag, this one I think was £10 from Asda, and all you do is what you do to save space is actually just fill it up with loads of cute stuff and just individually wrap it, and you can do things like necklaces and rings and things like that, and you just fill the bag up, and actually that's a really cute little present which is really light, doesn't take up much space, and can fit in luggage really easily. So for both girls and boys, Playmobil do some fantastic sets that are in little cases, and actually you've got lots of different little ideas, from like mermaids to pirates to anything, and they all come in this really neat little case which then falls down quite small. And we've had one of these before, and they're really handy for then carrying it around, especially obviously if you've got loads of little bits and you've got this ready-made case, you put it all back in again, ready to go back home in your suitcase, and then you're not going to lose any of it. So Fiddle Toys are all the rage at the moment. I've actually bought Aiden this little cube of like Fiddle Toys, or like it's like like a fidget toy almost, and it comes in a little cube, and you can, there's a button to switch, there's a key to move, there's all this sorts in a tiny little cube, and actually that's fantastic. He'll open it up and it will go in our hand luggage to go back on the plane with us, and hopefully that will keep him occupied on the plane on the way back. On the subject of fidget toys as well, poppets are all the rage here in the UK at the moment. They're super light, they're flat, they're cheap. You can get loads of different colours, different sizes. They can range from about £2 to about £10. You can develop loads of little sort of games with them. I love them because they're just good to do, aren't they? My daughter loves them. So again, as far as little stocking filler presents are concerned, they're a really good idea. With stocking filler presents as well, cheap, light little activity books. I got this one from What, the sort of big sort of department store thing, and this was 89p, which is so cheap, but it's got some really lovely activities in it which will be perfect for my daughter who's 4. She loves these kind of books, and for 89p they've got a whole different range of these similar books. I thought these were an absolute bargain, and these would be really good for taking on the plane back to keep her occupied on the plane and in the airport. For your slightly older child, I've noticed that Lego have this new dots. I don't know how new they are, I've just discovered them, but you can get sort of wristbands which obviously you can then decorate with these little flat Lego bits. They're ideally for 6-year-old and up because of the small items and how fiddly they are, but they're super light. You can get loads of little packs, like add-on packs, but they're tiny, and you can just then get the wristbands and add a few extra packs, and they're super light, super small. Everyone loves Lego, so yeah, I thought that was a really good idea. So in some big toy shops or department stores, if you go to the toy section, quite often they have a specific stocking filler area, especially around Christmas time. So check that out, because there's loads of like typical small little items that are stocking fillers, but if you're traveling abroad and you need something to go in a case, then they can give you some fantastic ideas. I know Smiths do a fantastic like wall or aisle that have loads of little different presents, and John Lewis as well have got a big stand of stocking filler presents at the moment, so just check that out. So my extra tips for if you are traveling abroad with children and you need to bring presents with you. Number 1, if you have family on the other side of wherever you're going, say you're traveling like us to France and you've got family on the other side, don't buy it in England and bring it over. Go on Amazon France, or the French version of Amazon, and get it sent directly over there. Get your family to pick it up, and then it's there when you arrive. Wrap it up, give it to the child that you're buying for. It makes a huge difference. It means that you're not limited to bulky items in your luggage. It will get sent directly there and you don't have to worry about it. Another great tip is buying things like clothes with you, wrapped up. Obviously you wrap it up, which means that you can actually wear the clothes whilst you're there on holiday. So if, like us, you are traveling, say Christmas Eve, and you've got loads of clothes wrapped up, because kids don't mind what they unwrap. At the end of the day, it's just about unwrapping presents, and they get really excited. So if you take some new clothes that you bought for the winter, just save it for Christmas, because what you can do is then wrap it up, you know, class it as a present. They unwrap it, fine, great, Merry Christmas, but then you use those clothes for the children to wear whilst you're on holiday, and then it saves you some extra space for actually packing other clothes. Similarly, things like activity sets that you were planning to use going over there, if you can just make the journey over there, it means that you can save everything for Christmas, like activity books, activity toys, things that you know that your children are going to be interested in on the journey back. It means they're going to be all excited, and it means hopefully your flight back will be a little bit of a calmer one. Finally, for things like Lego or Duplo or anything which has lots of little bits, sometimes it's the actual packaging that takes up most of the space. So what I suggest, if your child is not too bothered about the actual box, is to take it out of the box, keep everything wrapped up in the plastic little bags that there are, keep the instructions and just wrap these up, and it takes away all that bulky space. Again, children don't really mind that much about the actual packaging. It's about unwrapping the present and discovering what's inside. That makes it all very magical and surprising for them. So again, just take away the packaging and you've got a lot more space. It's a lot lighter and you still get the surprise from the child. Right, I hope you find that useful. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to follow more of me on YouTube, and hit the like button if you found this video useful, and I will see you next time.